Hello? Can anyone around here speak basketball?
It's the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast. Freddie.
Yes?
Everyone's been waiting.
Welcome to the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast. Hello, bonjour. That's still a thing, I think.
Can you believe it? The Toronto Raptors are going to the NBA Finals.
If anyone...
Did you say macaw?
I kind of did... Whoa. I yelled so loud that a dish fell
That was insane.
in Matt's kitchen. I didn't say macaw. I said... Bah God, which is JR from wrestling.
Oh, okay, right.
Goes, bah God! Triple H has got the brass knucks. That's what I say when I can't handle the excitement I'm going through.
There's a lot of energy pulsating out of this room right now.
Let's just say I don't usually have neck veins, but now
they're bulging.
I got
right
10.
now.
I got a Brock Lesnar face going on right now.
So we've been gone a couple weeks.
That's right.
You got married.
You're damn right I did.
Congratulations.
I got married in Beaufort, South Carolina with all my family and friends.
It was so much fun. We were down there. It was super hot.
Super hot. One of the
perfect weather.
One of the best damn times of my life.
Yeah.
So if you're mad that the pod took a break, well, I appreciate that you're mad actually and that you care about the pod. But
we got during your ceremony, we got a shout out from your brother, who's now banned. Our first guest banned from the podcast.
Francisco, if you're listening, you just got banned. Francisco ripped on the pod at the wedding during his best man speech.
It was great.
It was pretty great. But I mean, I'm gonna walk you through some of my Raptors experiences down south, and just tie them to the wonderful 2 weeks I had.
Yeah.
So as we're getting ready for the wedding, we get there. We actually fly in on Game 7.
Philly.
Yeah. So I got to watch the bounce with my in-laws, with Brian and Judy, and we went crazy. We were jumping up.
Fun.
We started watching all the replays in Korean, from China, in Japanese, in Brazilian, and all these different languages, and hearing still doubt in the Toronto Raptors. Like, oh yeah, that was fun, but the Bucks are going to crush them.
Yeah.
And I did think that the Bucks should have been the favorite, but I thought, we had the chance to do something. And as it went along, we watched Game 1, was really tight. And on the Friday night before I got married, we actually went to this bar in Beaufort called Q on Bay.
Yeah.
It's a barbecue place, and I went with my mom and her best friend Helen, and we started eating. And I remember letting the server know I got some family and some friends coming. We're hardcore Raptors fans. I don't think she didn't take me very seriously, but she was like, "Okay, honey, we'll take care of y'all." But she didn't realize how many people were about to show up because we took over this bar.
Yeah.
And how many people were there, Matt?
Oh, I came later and there was like at least, I'm going to say 30, 40 people.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Something like that.
And
nuts.
There was a band setting up to play. And poor guy, because I could tell he didn't know what was going on. All these Raptors fans from Canada are showing up in South Carolina. And I could tell he was preparing. I've been there as a comedian. He was preparing for perhaps one of the most difficult sets of his life. playing music to a bunch of people who couldn't care less.
Yeah.
But, we were good to him. He was good to us. We made it work.
Yeah.
Our friend Rodrigo, never been on the pod, but he's a friend of the pod. He actually got this guy to let everyone know that Rodrigo, was the king of Beaufort.
That's right. He is.
So that was weird. That was really weird, and it was really funny. But anyways, the Raptors got plowed that game. It was rough. And we got married. And on that Sunday, that's when the epic turnaround game happened.
Yeah.
What we learned later in this pod, Cathryn told us that Nick Nurse too had a baby.
Yeah.
But he was being quiet about it. But Fred had a baby, named him Fred. Started letting shots fly. Nurse had a baby. And you know how the Bucks series went. We won 4 games in a row. But, that game, that turnaround game, we were kind of, getting ready to leave and getting ready to have a mini honeymoon. And then we had the blowout game, the fourth game in Toronto.
Yeah.
And we just smacked them. And then, it was 2-2.
Everything evolving around your wedding has been good luck so far for the...
Right? Yeah. And I should also say, you can check it on Instagram, but the Raptors were represented at my wedding, okay?
Oh, yeah.
My wife, Caitlin, the first thing she said was, "He stay." And she was talking about me, okay? But it was a reference to Kawhi. Listen. Small joys, okay?
Yeah.
Small joys. And we also, every table was named after a Raptor.
That's right.
But we ran out of names pretty quick. So if you sat at the Chris Boucher table, I'm sorry.
I was at the Danny Green table.
Hey, that's a good table.
It's a good table.
Be proud. There was a Nick Nurse table, a Masai Ujiri table. There was no Bobby Webster table. I'm so sorry, man.
I wish you didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
I would have just turned tables over.
Well, there also wasn't an Eric Moreland table. Okay. There also wasn't a Jordan Lloyd table.
Was there a Masai table?
You better believe there was a Masai table. I was sitting at the
You
Kawhi
couldn't even
Leonard
have
table.
Bobby at the underneath the Masai and Bobby table? No, he's gone.
No, sorry. But so anyhow, game 5 happens. I'm back in Toronto at this point. Mm-hmm. So exhausted from all the wonderful joy of it I've experienced. And that game's amazing. And we're starting to go crazy. And Drake's starting to yell at people.
He's massaging.
He's massaging.
He's doing weird post game.
Yeah, baby. Everything's going down. No, the massaging happened in Toronto.
Yeah.
But then, anyway, so me and Caitlin decided we want a little denouement to our wonderful time. So we went to
where else would you go?
Collingwood, baby.
Ontario.
Yeah. We went to the edge of the Blue Mountain. Listen, no slights on Collingwood, but a little bit. I'm going to drop some hard truths about Collingwood. The caves need to be better than they are.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, I was excited to go to those caves for a long ass
when you
time.
mentioned it to me, and I was like, I don't want to ruin it for them. They're
baby,
not very good.
Wasn't impressed with the caves. Suspension bridge. Cheers. Fucking sick. You can stack 4 people high. Yeah. Huge. Yeah, that bridge can support a lot of weight. But listen, we saw a lot of turkey vultures. We saw a lot of animals. Shit was cool in Collingwood. No regrets.
No regrets.
Thornbury cidery.
Yeah.
Cheers. Lots of apples. But anyways, we found some hardcore Raptors fans in Collingwood. There were signs everywhere. The Raptors are going to make history. That got me jacked. I don't have cable, so I actually watched the game on cable. Felt like a bit of a king at the Airbnb. And I went buck wild. I went fucking crazy. I was smacking my own ass and jumping around. It was weird. Yeah. Caitlin wasn't judging. It was really fun.
Yeah, I watched the last quarter in that kitchen right there because I would not come out of the kitchen. I was like peeking around.
Oh yeah, that's like my Irish grandpa.
Yeah,
you know what that means?
Is that an Irish thing?
Yeah, that means you're nuts, bud. He used to watch Habs games like that. My mom said he used to take Habs games like the radio.
Yeah,
and he would basically put himself literally go inside of a closet and just hear the radio instead of watching the TV. And they would just walk by a closet and hear mutterings of him being like, "You bums, you bums," and he would just call. He was a hardcore Montreal Canadiens fan, and he would just like, "You bums, you bums."
Sitting in a closet,
listening to the radio like a true maniac.
That's hardcore. I like it.
A maniac Irish sports fan. Yeah. Matt, a lot of people know my journey, right?
Yeah.
I'm a Vince Carter era fan, season seat holder with my brothers.
I'm a Chuck Hayes era fan.
You're Chuck Hayes, Chuck Wagon, burger, one bite, every burger's
my first season.
Every burger's a slider for Chuck. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And what's this journey been like for you?
You know what? I'm real spoiled. I'm super spoiled. They've been a playoff team the entire time that I've been a fan.
Yeah. You've seen we've
done 6 seasons of this show.
But you've endured LeBronto.
Oh yeah, I've had some tough playoff losses. Every single one has been a tough one. But I haven't been through a Bargnani era.
And I'm glad you can't pronounce his name. I'm glad. No, I hope you can never pronounce his name. Andrea Bargnani.
Yeah. See? No. Yeah. Not my era.
You don't need to.
But it's super super exciting. I love the game of basketball so much since I've started doing this podcast with you.
Yeah.
And I'm so stoked for the finals. I can't really wrap my head around it. It's as I can imagine, it feels for you too. It's surreal, and it's like, but doesn't it feel like there's a calmness to it? I felt more uncomfortable with Milwaukee than I do with Golden State.
Well, I mean, I think that Golden State's a better team, and the challenges are going to be greater in the end.
Yeah.
And I think narratively, there will have to be some of Golden State beating themselves, more so than us, like Kawhi besting Giannis. It's just a different team. I don't think it's going to go down like that. Not to say that we can't win, but I think, there's a calm at the center of this, like, Toronto, we the North Storm.
Yeah.
And the calm is Kawhi.
Yes.
He's his own eye of the storm. Wait, is eye the part where you really get messed up?
Well, the eye's the nice part where you're like, is it over? This is nice. And
oh, yeah, okay. Well, he's not nice. He's not nice. You know what I mean? But he's calm. And I think Kawhi's instilled this, like, I don't want to say entitlement, but like, we feel like, yeah, we've waited a long time. Yes, it's surreal, but we deserve to be there. And I think there's things we can present, challenges that perhaps Golden State hasn't faced. They face, Memphis Grizzlies and Houston Rockets and the Utah Jazz and some really good defensive teams. But I don't think they've ever faced Kawhi beyond the time that they faced Kawhi.
Right.
And Zaza Pachulia got under him, and the rest is history there. But
you got to remember one thing, Freddie.
Hit me.
I mean, they're not an up and coming team. They're here. They're here.
You know what? I thought it was gonna be like bum, bum. I was ready to kind of like start dancing, but yeah, Durant said it, and this is just a deep cut that I told to my older brothers, Francisco and Miguel. We're actually gonna have Thomas on the podcast, but this is a deep cut. So for any of you Anne Rice lovers out there who read Anne Rice novels about vampires.
Interview with the Vampire, the Vampire Lestat.
There you go, baby. So there's two queen vampires.
Queen of the Damned.
You're damn right. No, this guy read them. This guy, or at least he watched the movies. And I think when Kawhi dunked over Giannis, yes, we had taken the series. But more than that, he was telling Durant, wake up. You know what I mean? Wake up. You're one of those queen vampires and you're sleeping. Wake up because I'm about to slay you.
Whoa.
And I need an audience for that. So that's me getting real.
Interesting vampire reference.
Listen, my mom read a lot of Anne Rice books.
So did mine.
Okay, they were fucking. Listen, they're always in stock in the library, and my mom was going for it.
They're very sexy.
Are they?
Yeah, they're very sexy books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cheers. Anyways, we're pumped. This is amazing. Drake's going crazy. The city's going crazy. Canada's getting united. Me and my brothers feel like it's a holiday. My marriage seems like it's like related to this amazingness. I'm so happy for Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it for DeRozan, my guy.
We couldn't be happier that Game 1 is this Thursday and Game 7 is 7 weeks from now.
Yeah. We're really gonna spread it out. But I say we get going. We have 7 callers, and we'll introduce them as we go along. And thanks so much for listening to this pod. It was a special one. That's why we had to do a call-in episode.
Yeah,
and we'll be back with a regular pod on I think the Monday.
Yeah, after Game 2.
After Game 2.
Yeah,
awesome.
All right,
Thank you
guys.
so much, everybody.
Enjoy. Graham. K.
Hey everybody, I'm here with one of my super buds, Graham K. Graham, how you doing, dude?
Oh, it's an honor to be a super bud. I didn't know it was one of your super buds. Wow.
Well, yeah,
thank you.
It's a big deal for me, like to call someone a super bud. Like I'm usually, scared of most folks or like trying to fight others,
Sure. Well, I was nervous because I always felt that you were a super bud to me, and I didn't want to tell you because it wasn't reciprocated, and then everyone laughs at me.
Aww.
You know,
we're like Kawhi and Lowry. Like, I think they loved each other from the beginning, but at first they needed to be like, I'm like one of the, like when kids first meet and they're like, we're just gonna play on opposite ends here, but like by the end of the day, like we'll be like crafting some type of game that everyone has to play.
Yeah.
You'll be on a fast break. You're gonna fake like you're gonna do a layup. The Greek freak is gonna think you're gonna do it. Get a little faked out. You're gonna put on the brakes, turn around, dish me the ball. I'm Kawhi, and I'm gonna slam it home with a left-handed slam over Giannis. So
I mean,
that's what's happening right now.
I'm dunking
it right now on Giannis? That's what I'm
should we start there? Like, I mean, I'm doing these super quick conversations with everyone.
I made that scenario up out of I just imagined it.
Well, okay.
Did that happen?
Did you feel like Kawhi when he made that dunk?
Yes, I want to feel like Kawhi. The guy's a superhero. It's amazing. It's honestly, every once in a while in sports you see somebody, a player, an athlete, author something by themselves in a team sport, drag a team by themselves, and it's magical to watch. And I'm just thoroughly impressed. I did not know I knew he was good, did not know he was that good. And it's interesting. It's interesting to see how I live in America, and it's just interesting to see how the American media is being forced to deal with, to come to the realization that this is a very good team. They can't believe it.
Okay, I see. I love this narrative. I love the being forced to cover the Raptors. So, like, can you just elaborate on, like, maybe, like, not necessarily incremental steps you've seen, but, like, what are you seeing now where you're like, aha, finally, you have to say that?
Well, I mean, ESPN has a lot more coverage. But I mean, I listen to a lot of Bill Simmons and his podcast, and it's like he just doesn't want to talk. He will not talk about he's never even been to Toronto. He's not.
That's insane. That's insane to me.
It's insane, and it's just like there's no more teams left to talk about, so he's going to be forced to talk about. I mean, it's just he's had people on his podcast call as recently as Game 3 of the 76ers series, say the Raptors suck. Raptors suck.
Wow.
And it's like, they don't suck. They're dope.
I know.
They're deep teams. It's like, look, it's going to be a tough matchup.
Yes.
There's no question. We are probably not going to win, but we have a chance. I mean, I said from the beginning of the season, as soon as we got Kawhi, everyone's like, well, they're going to lose in the finals even if they make it. I'm like, all we need is one injury on the other side, and that has happened. We've had two, actually.
And no Durant for Game 1.
Yeah, Durant's apparently already out, and Boogie
questionable
might be in.
Yeah.
And it seems like the OG Anunoby, that's kind of crystallized as he needs to wait 10 days. So we're looking at Game 5 or 4. Yeah.
4, yeah.
Right. So it's everything is falling into place, and it's I'm not telling you guys anything new. It's just super exciting. We legit have a chance. I think the sort of Draymond Green Pascal Siakam matchup is going to be one that could decide the series. If Danny Green can be anywhere close to the way he was in the playoffs for the Spurs, not the last time they were in the playoffs, but 2 times ago when he was awesome, and like, cause it's him and Clay. Can he be 70% of what Clay is? Right now he's absolute trash. So there's a couple Siakam is a guy who can fight through screens, and they're not used. There's like a high pick and roll that they always use, that Draymond Green and Curry pick and roll. It's like been unstoppable, and now Siakam and Leonard they've got length. These are two guys that can do it. So if Siakam just needs to hit like 5% better from beyond the arc, and everything can change. And,
yeah. If he went back to knocking down some corner threes, it would be massive.
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, there's a lot of positives. We've made it this far without Danny Green being able to shoot a basketball, and we've, Siakam can't shoot threes anymore, seemingly.
Yep.
But I Siakam had a little bit of a dip. Like, there's like, he's like a hustle player, and then all of a sudden the playoffs come and everyone hustles. So he's like not running behind defenses as much anymore. But I think he's done a really impressive job of adjusting. Can I just say something that was really, really exciting that I didn't, maybe it was talked about in Toronto media or whatever, but I didn't.
No, please
hear about it.
This is what this pod is about. Just let it flow, Graham.
Yeah. Remember against I think it was the double overtime game. Siakam missed those free throws. Yep. And then they eventually won. Thank God.
Mm-hmm. And he also got Giannis to foul out.
Yes, he did. Which was a complete questionable bullshit call. It was like a charge, but whatever. I'll take it.
Yeah, we honestly had a couple fortunate calls in that series, if we're being real.
Yes. But so he missed both free throws. Like, he completely buckled. Mm-hmm. And fine, I would have buckled too, probably. It's a lot of pressure, and basketball's hard. But but in this closeout game, this most recent game, with I think under a minute left, he had really key free throws, and I can't remember if he made one or both, but he needed to make one, and he did. And I was like, yeah, that's my man. And it was even more pressure. Do you know what I mean? It's a closeout game, and he did it, and I love that. That's like, I don't know. To me, that's.
Oh yeah, and his defense was unreal, even when he was playing poorly. Like, even that how instrumental was the play where he kind of like where there's maybe a minute 8 seconds to go, and he poked that lob free and stole the ball. Like, that was just such a, when you're a desperate team and you're grasping at straws, that was definitely like a spike in the ground, or one of many, I guess.
It's awesome. I'm excited for the whole world to where new Pascal Siakam is. I'm, people are going to have more respect for Kyle Lowry.
It's great.
And I was really excited I've always wanted the Raptors to go really far in the playoffs, so the world will see Canada in the summer and realize it's not always awful.
I know. I'm excited for that too.
And I checked the weather, and it's not going to happen. It is going to be disgusting.
It's just going to be cold forever.
It is just like, it's going to be June and cold. Like, it's going to be embarrassing. It's going to be an American stereotype of what Canada is.
Honestly, I'm into it, because we're already like Game of Thrones stereotype territory, where it's like winter's coming, and I'm like, I guess this is like the summer where winter happens, But Graham, I don't know if you heard it, but our sound effect for Time Is Up is a ticking time bomb that blows up. But I feel like only me and Matt heard it, because it was really
should have
loud.
Gone to him. Maybe he heard something in the background.
I heard something. I didn't understand what it was.
I told you, Matt. I told you.
No one knows what it is.
I thought maybe a subway was going by. I wasn't quite sure. But anyway, I do have to go myself. I have to go do a show, and I got to hop on a subway myself.
All right. So, dude, thank you so much.
Let's just keep riding this train. Raptors in 7.
All right.
They're going to make some adjustments. People don't know how good they are. They got length. They got defense. The other team is injured. I think we could really do this, which is exciting.
Truer words have never been said.
Mm-hmm.
Graham, thanks, man.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for doing the pod.
Thank you, super friend.
Super friend, baby. Kawhi the Thief. Kawhi Leonard started the playoffs with 147 steals.
Whoa.
Which had him at 52nd all time. He now has 175 steals in the playoffs all time.
Wow.
Since our last recording.
Yeah.
Kawhi has passed Bobby Jones, Dan Marley, Ray Allen, Tim Duncan, Jerome Kersey, Jeff Hornacek, Horace Grant, Stephen Curry, Danny Ainge, and Gus Williams. He now sits at 37th all time, and he's coming for James Worthy.
Ian Gordon.
Okie dokie. I'm here with the amazing, the grand Ian Gordon. What's up, buddy?
What a day. How's it going, gentlemen?
Oh, we're still reeling.
Yeah, we're reeling. We're in a wonderful damn mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel good. I think I lost weight and grew hair.
Oh, beautiful. I mean, I think you look wonderful as is, but also,
well, thank you.
I wouldn't mind seeing like a werewolf style like transition for you. That would be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be great if I got some nice, thick, full head of hair. I'd look like Thor, wouldn't I?
Oh, yeah.
Fat Thor from Endgame. No spoilers.
What's like, okay, when you woke up after we beat the Bucks and we're going to the finals the next day, by the way, we're recording on Monday nights. Was it 26? Yes.
Yeah.
26.
Yeah.
When you woke up on Sunday morning, what was like going through your head? Like what type of high are you on? Is it a vindictive high?
The thing is, it was like it was surreal. It didn't feel real. Well, there were some things that were tangible. The series before, in many ways, was tangible.
Mm-hmm.
We beat Philly. That was. I felt that. It felt good to be in the Eastern Conference Final. But it still almost hasn't sunk in that we're in the NBA Final.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy. And this is based on being a Toronto Raptors sports fan, Trevor, but just a Toronto sports fan who's 36 years old. I've never seen this before, really, other than when I was 10 with the Jays.
Yeah, I'm turning 33 in 2 weeks. Exact same thing. Like I was like 7 or 6 with the Jays, and no other team has made it to the finals. I do like the TFC, but it's a bit of a different thing.
Yeah.
Well, sure. You know, you ever have like a dream where like somebody like you win like a new car or like something like that, or like your dream home, and then you wake up and you're like, well, that's classic, not real. You know?
Yeah.
So this is real. This is fucking real. We're in the finals, and this is crazy. It really is.
So what are you most excited about as you're kind of like processing everything?
Well, for me, the most having processed it and having to really breathe and looking at it just pragmatically. Yeah. We actually have a chance to beat the Golden State Warriors. I'm not even joking. I agree. If I'm looking at it, this is the team. This is a crazy dynamic because there's two sides to it. There's the one side where we're new and we're fresh and we're pretty healthy other than OG and they're beat up a little bit. You know, they've got some stars out. They got KD, they got Cousins out, and I think Iguodala is still out too. So
yeah, Iguodala didn't play the closing game against the Blazers, but I think he'll play.
They look like, of all the times when, you know, they look like they've got a few rods stuck in them a la Matador, they look like they could be beat. They're not coming in there with this golden shroud and this impervious, impenetrable armor that they've had for years. I feel like we can give them a shot, especially with home court.
Yeah.
But with that being said, we are on we need to win both games at home. We have to. You cannot, you know, these, as much as it's weird and that's exciting, it's almost as soon as the series starts, every game is a game 7 for us because we need to hold home court. Imagine going down there, even with the series tied, you're thinking to yourself, well, shit, now 3-4, we cannot go down 3-1 to this team, right?
Right.
So if you just look at the numbers, you can't miss a shot. It's like golf when you can't miss a shot, right? We don't have any wiggle room. If we protect home court just by looking at how it lays out, we will win in 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We must win the 2 games. So right away, I'm feeling this sense of joy and happiness with this tinge of like anticipatory stress.
Right, but no dread.
As soon as game one tip off 11:59, 11:58, I'm fucking terrified and stressed out immediately.
Like, how long before, like, what games are going to happen when Draymond and Ibaka go like full Zidane and just start?
They go Zidane on each other.
Yeah, like on each other.
You know, it's funny because if you look at rosters, and I know they have Steph, and I know they've got championship pedigree, but we've got Kawhi, but the thing that really looks at, other than the players, is one thing, but I think, and I like Nurse, I'm not knocking Nurse, but I'm worried about the two ways that the Raptors might lose. Is one, we might suffer from being outcoached. That's something I'm worried about. I'm worried that Kerr has schemes that he's going to put in place that are going to hurt us badly.
Can I just jump in? I think that's such a valid concern, because I think with the Bucks, something that happened was we broke the wheel. Right, not to be all Game of Thrones here, but we broke their system, and they didn't have a rebuttal. Golden State can morph into a hyper defensive team. They can be unleashed into shooting from everywhere in the court. I mean, I'm not so worried about Boogie, but I think, it's also just the deadly basic pick and roll down your throat if they need to do that.
That's the other thing that's going to kill us too. Is, I mean, this is the thing: is Kerr is good at adjustments. He's good at adjustments when his hand is forced. Yeah. But he's good at like chess move adjustments. Where
That's right.
He's like, okay, well, Nurse and the Raptors are going to likely do this, and they'll bring out this lineup. When they do so, we will counter with X, Y, Z. And like Kerr could do crazy shit like play his guys into the ground one game. He could play 11 guys one game. He's crazy like that, and I know that they're hurt. And
I'm actually glad you brought that up because Sorry, we've been playing 8. They've been playing 11. So I just wanted to throw that onto what you were saying, because that is the rubber's going to meet the road there immediately. Like we're going to have to figure out, or they're going to have to figure out,
because we have to be prepared for that. I mean. And I know Nurse is a great coach, and I certainly do like what he's done, and he's expanded our roster, and we play a free open style. But I'm worried about that. I'm also specifically matchup-wise, I think of all the players, you think of Curry just killing you, but the guy that I'm most worried about is Draymond Green. I don't know who the fuck's going to guard Draymond Green. Or he's their pick and roll at the top with Curry. How do you defend it? I know nobody in the NBA can defend it. But specifically on the Raptors, what type of lineup do you have to bring out to try to effectively defend against that?
Yeah.
Because, Mark's not going to do it. Serge isn't going to do it. Who's going to – you have to almost have, like, our wing, like Pascal guarding Draymond out there, and I don't know. I mean,
I think it could be a series where, a guy like Draymond sees a lot of guys. I think Kawhi might spend some time on him. I think Gasol might spend some time on him. And but we'll see how Gasol does against him. And obviously Ibaka.
He's their X factor. He's obviously he's their motor. He's going to get them going. They're going to be. The frustrating thing when you watch Golden State is when they push the ball, usually through him with a quick outlet pass, and they score an easy layup 2 seconds into the play clock when you're worried about their three and them setting up their offense. They have a lot of plays like that where they just kind of kill you with these quick little layups to a wide open Iguodala, wide open Curry, whatever, for a layup or something. And a lot of that stuff is stemmed through him. So we have to be hyper aware. That leads to our defense. I think if we win this championship, all our guys have to hit the shots like you see when we hit shots how good we are as a team. But
Ian, I don't know if you heard that, but the bomb went off. That?
Oh shit, man! Already, God bless you guys.
Wait, finish your thought though, because that's okay. On us. Matt gave me a "oh dear" sign and hit it.
Well, my thought pertains to the defense. If our defensive energy and intensity is there, we show we can beat any team. Giannis is no slouch. We shut him down. Can we shut down? The thing about about him as his drive player, right? Can we shut down perimeter weapons? We have to see how good our perimeter defense is right now. It's not about building a wall right now against Golden State. It's about guarding the pick and roll, guarding the perimeter. And I'm both exuberant and terrified. And if I did grow any hair, it's all going to fall out.
Well, Ian, I mean, you know, you're someone you've been on this ride with us, so
man,
let's enjoy the moment, right?
Exactly. Enjoy the moment. I do feel good. I'm not one of these people who thinks that we're going to get steamrolled. I really do think we're going to give them a game, and we have to come out right off the bat, games 1 and 2, and kick their ass. We have to beat this shit out of them and play defense and take it to the neck and to the throat of the Golden State Warriors immediately. We have to play like we're the champions.
And I think you know, this is where Masai's depth of roster hopefully can give us that type of advantage. Like, I hope that guys like Norm are insulted they're playing Alfonso McKinney against us. We cut him. We cut him from our team. Yeah. And Kevon Looney, like, Ibaka has to look at Kevon Looney and being like, absolutely no, this is my time.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. We have guys who they have their evil empire players, but their role players we can beat. We need to win all these little matchups, all these little hustle plays. We have to have our role players outplay theirs, and we can win this series.
Woo!
Because we also have the claw, baby.
The claw, baby.
That's right.
I know, the claw. What a cool name, too, eh?
Yeah.
I love it. I do.
Well, we'll talk soon, and get your popcorn ready. Let's enjoy the show.
That's it, boys. Go Raps, and God bless everybody out there. Have a great summer.
Danny from Deep. We're talking Danny Green, Moneyball threes. This guy's an all-timer from deep in the playoffs. So, when we started the playoffs, the Raptors, Danny Green had 191 playoff threes made, which had him at 20th all time. He now has 218 made threes all time. And since last podcast, how many people has Danny Green passed? Danny's struggling a little bit. He hasn't passed anyone, but guess what? He sits 18th all time, and he's coming for you, Jason Terry.
Thomas Rivas.
Okay, I'm here with my little bro, Thomas Rivas, who has a lot more Raptors shirts than most people on Earth.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
various eras.
I've already talked to him like 50 times since the game. But Tom, I know you're tripping out. How you doing?
That's an accurate statement. I am tripping out. It's you're right. I'm sure there's some people that own more Raptors clothing than me, but wow, is it ever coming in handy? I have a new outfit every single day for 3 months, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Woo! Where are you at right now? Like, well, what are you thinking about?
Oh, what am I thinking about? I've been thinking a lot about Toronto itself. Obviously, I'm thinking about the Raptors, but I'm also thinking about Toronto, how happy I am for everybody in Toronto. This Raptors thing goes a lot deeper than basketball for me and you, Freddie.
Oh, yeah.
I think not to go jump right into the deep end, but I'm going to do it, Freddie.
Jump in.
It's something we've been talking about, but we grew up, how do you say, not affluent?
That's
to
right.
Be an accurate statement of that.
Correct.
The country sport was not really our sport because it cost a lot of money to get on that ice rink. That was something that we only saw on TV, and we were told that was our sport.
Yeah,
we were very much told that was our sport, and
but hockey's not our sport, baby.
Not our sport, baby. Our sport came out when I was 6-7 years old with the Toronto Raptors, and that was an affordable thing for our mother to get 4 boys with a $15 basketball, and we would just play basketball all the time. So I'm really happy for Toronto. I'm really happy for for all the poor people that were unable to
and
play the country sport. And
how about us as bros? Us as bros that got season seats when they were affordable.
Yeah.
Like I see some of the prices of the tickets now and I'm like, it's not exactly rent controlled, but more than half the games I go to, I couldn't afford.
Yeah.
And it's only because we invested in just deep Bargnani pain. You know what I mean? We invested in Mamadou Ndiaye. It was rough. It was rough.
Right?
What's that?
Pardon me, Fred?
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, Bargnani, Rafael Araujo, who else was part of our dark days, It was great. Yeah, we've been in it for a long time, and there's been so many fans that have been in it for a long time, and what a wonderful time it is for every Torontonian, whether you were in it all the way deep or whether you jumped in last week to just cheer the Toronto Raptors on. And it's seeing the scenes of downtown was almost as good as seeing Kawhi Leonard cram it on Giannis's brain and rip out his soul.
That, sir, is a transition.
That was a bit of a transition. Yeah. I'm jacked up. I'm jacked up.
No, I know. I there was a compliment on the transition because, I was in Collingwood with Caitlin. It's like a mini honeymoon, and I mean everyone who was near that Airbnb, they heard a lot of screams. Yeah. In the fourth quarter.
That's right, Fred. I'm not sure. Fred, have you told the fans and the listeners what a wonderful few weeks you've been having?
I have.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Because I feel like we're all living through the Raptors, but I'm trying to, I'm living for you right now. I'm quite ecstatic for my brother to have married the love of his life. And all of his friends came down. We got to watch the Raptors in South Carolina and freak out a bunch of people who are used to old crocodiles and alligators, and Raptors is something that they don't hear often. And boy, did they ever when we were down there just showing up on some bars 60 deep.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So, Tom, you're validated. The Rivases are validated. The city of Toronto is validated. The country of Canada is validated. Woo. Who else are you feeling like they deserve this moment? Or is it just kind of like a general thing that's been washing over you?
You know who deserves this moment? Nav. Bhatia.
Ooh.
Validated.
Definitely.
See, I knew Tom would have a huge answer.
Yeah.
Super fan.
Hasn't missed a home game.
Super fan. The guy since day one, what a positive representation he is for Toronto. He does so much community work. He's literally in his seats in the darkest of Keon Clark fighting people times. From who else is some junkers that?
I mean,
Oliver Miller.
We don't even need to rehash
Oliver Miller.
Yeah, let's not. Let's not. It's too good right now.
I saw a picture of the Raptors when they played the Sky Dome. I think Chris Dart actually posted a picture or something, and it was like, it looks hilarious.
Oh yeah, we've come a long way. But the thing is,
it's just so makeshift.
I know we're reflecting, but we're here.
Yeah.
Though. So let's be in the moment too.
On a positive moment. I know switching from Nav to me, but you mentioned the Sky Dome. Like I was saying,
Thomas, Nav is you. You are Nav. Sorry, go ahead.
I am Nav. My big brother from Big Brothers Association took me to go see a game in the Sky Dome, and I still have the little miniature ball, my little Raptors ball.
Shout out to Chris Ardaugh.
Shout out to Chris Ardaugh. He does finances in Pickering. Sweet man. He took me because he knew how crazy we all were about basketball, even in those times.
Yep.
So it's great, seeing those things to know that it started from an arena that they blocked off to make basketball happen, and now we're in a place where tickets are flying for outrageous amounts to see our Raptors go up against the champs.
The champs, baby.
Nav sold 127 cars in his first 90 days. Cheers.
Wow,
really?
Nav coming through.
Yeah, when he first started.
Just to talk about Nav for a second, but he's so someone like that for any team. For somebody that's any of the super fans of any teams, it's like, yeah, it's so sweet to see him be like, wow, I'm here on the big stage. I can show you, and he loves Toronto, and he just loves, like everyone that comes to Toronto, they end up falling in love with it, and he's just out there representing Toronto, and go Nav, I say.
And and I guess Gold State has Smash Mouth. That's their guy.
Yeah, actually, no. I'm glad you brought this up because waging war with Smash Mouth is none other than Thomas Rivas.
Oh,
he has a hot tweet. Tom, I went to retweet it, couldn't find it because there's just a lot of Raptor stuff going on there. Tom, you want to walk us through this battle?
Well, I was just perusing Twitter, as everyone I'm sure has been doing in this Raptors time, just eating it up, eating it all up, eating all of these naysayers, enjoying the best of the moments of people saying just the best things. And I'm scrolling and I see Smash Mouth. Of all things, I saw somebody tweeted to Smash Mouth, and I was like, hey, what's going on here? And I'm sure everyone's heard about it now, but Smash Mouth calling out Drake. They don't even get his handle right. But, the classic ridiculousness coming at Drake. So I just my inner Toronto came out, and I just tweeted back, yeah. And then my phone started lighting up, and I'm starting to get a lot of likes. I'm just responding, yeah.
I mean, yeah is a pretty good.
I also responded just, are you dumb? So, just as Toronto as I could be. And getting likes, if you want to add on to those likes, follow me. Just shouting out those Raptors at TDJ Rivas.
Yeah, boy. Well, I don't know if you can hear that.
Uh-oh.
Thomas.
That was a bomb in Danny Green's condo. All he had to do was shoot it out an open window, but it bounced back in, unfortunately.
Wait. Okay, you know what? Just ignore that by Matt. Danny is safe. We're going to be arrested, I think. Wasn't a threat on Danny.
No,
whatsoever.
He's trying to be chair girl by throwing a time bomb out the window, but he can't make the shot, Freddie. Wow. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, listen. Danny's safe, Thomas.
Danny's safe. Huge condo.
Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm sure we'll talk many, many more times before Game 1.
Is that it? I just have to hear about Danny Green dying and then you're leaving?
Yeah, that's right. Unless you got anything.
That's intense, okay? Like, can I just, a couple words for Danny Green before you kick me out?
Yeah, you know what? Say a couple nice things, because everyone's going to pile on Green, and Matt here is issuing, I don't know, some weird cartoonish bomb threat or something.
Yeah, you're going to see, maybe you heard it here first, I'm hoping. I don't think he's dead. Hopefully I'm not saying the eulogy right now. Hopefully he rises up like the Undertaker. But we're talking about a guy that holds the record for threes in an NBA final. Talking about a guy who, there was murmurings of him being the MVP before Kawhi went and took the MVP in the finals. So it's unfortunate that he's shooting such a poor percentage. It's crazy. But, shooters go in slumps, and it's a brand new series. For a guy that's went to the finals twice, I'm not betting against him.
That's right.
And I'll punch anyone in the head that is.
Danny needs to have a baby. Name it Fred. Fire away.
Yeah.
I agree.
And and just if Smash Mouth is listening, Drake's got a secret weapon, and his name's Matthew Goodband. So watch out.
And he's got another secret weapon, my brother Thomas. Yeah, bud.
Yeah, Smash Mouth, are you dumb? Don't kill me, okay? Don't fucking kill me.
Okay. Thomas, you're great. We'll talk soon.
Okay, done now. Go Raps, go.
The Big Buddha, Marc Gasol's free ones. So, Marc Gasol, he gets hacked a lot. He's been racking up free throws in the playoffs for a long time, and he's climbing up the charts. And we're monitoring that, Matt. So, he started the playoffs with 290 free throws made all time, which had him at 144th all time in the playoffs. He now has 306. Since the last pod, he has passed Larry Faust and Chris Bosh. He now sits at 134th all time in playoffs free throws made. And he's coming for Terry Cummings.
Weldon.
Well, I'm here with mega friend of the pod, hilarious dude.
Your mentor.
My mentor. He must be happy right now. It's Will Weldon from LA. What's up, man?
Raps in 6.
Whoa. Okay, that's a great start. So are you going to back that up?
Will?
Hey, Will?
He's gone. He's gone.
Okay, well, if we're still being recorded, before we started, Will said, do I have to use the full time? And he's chosen to say Raptors in 6 and peace out on us.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's kind of perfect. I think Will's like we're going to fill some time here. Will's like a bit of a Kawhi.
Yeah.
Where like he's not using extra words. He's not going to be flowery just to be nice.
Yeah.
Raps in 6. That's what you're getting from Will Weldon.
Yeah.
And that's what we got. And Will, I love you.
Yeah. I thought he was going to last till about the 5-minute mark, but I'm cool with 20 seconds. That's
Me
cool.
too. Let's move on to the next, right?
All right.
Kyle Lowry has always been an unselfish player, and that's why we've been monitoring Kyle's all-time assists in the playoffs. You know what was assists? Which one was an assist? When he stole the ball and he just backed it up to Kawhi. He threw the bit of the head look to Siakam, and it was just enough time for Kawhi to get it and cram it on Milwaukee's soul.
Unreal.
So, here we go. Sorry. So Kyle started with 335 all-time assists in the playoffs, and he was at 110th all time. He now has 437 assists all time in the playoffs. Since last pod, Kyle has passed Al Horford, Mike Bibby, Paul Pressey, Allen Iverson, Tom Henderson, Pau Gasol, and Ray Allen. Kyle now sits at 70th all-time in playoff assists, and he's coming for JoJo White.
Cathryn. Naiker.
All right, I'm here with one of my best buds, a super bud, I might even say.
Oh wow, a lot of super buds on this pod.
Yeah, it's a bit of a running bit. She thinks Nick Nurse is hot.
Yeah.
I don't know what she thinks about his acoustic guitar. We haven't even gone there, but Cathryn, I know you're happy. How happy are you?
I am completely thrilled. I'm so thrilled. Especially after being down 0-2, I was just like, the most I was hoping for at that point would be that the games were just competitive going forward after losing that game 2, but then winning 4 in a row. I'm ecstatic. And, you mentioned Nick Nurse, and I feel like this is a really good point to start on.
Yeah.
Let's start on the rise of Nick Nurse.
Yes.
I feel like I'm so glad that I had a moment on your podcast earlier this season to talk about my love for Nick Nurse, because I want it on the record that I was first.
That's true.
I think you really, really genuinely were first.
Yeah. Everyone else was like, well, we're going to feel him out and, give him a chance. But you're like, no.
Well, you were like, A, he's good, B, he's hot.
Yeah.
So that was big.
Right.
Like, you just came out swinging.
Both things are true. Even Drake noticed, okay, like that whole shoulder rub moment
viral,
and I was just like, I mean, I was all for it, but I was just like, Drake is just doing what I don't have access to do.
Right.
Are you worried at all about Nick's voice? Every time I hear him do a post game, he's like, I don't know, are the Fisherman's Friends working?
I think they might be working against him and he's having too many.
Yeah, you talked about that happening to you.
His voice has been sounding very hoarse lately.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's losing his voice all the time. Maybe he was fighting a cold. I don't know. The other crazy thing I want to talk about Nick Nurse in the series that like literally no other guest on your show is going to bring up or will ever bring up. But did you know that he also had a baby last week, Monday?
What? No.
Nick Nurse had a baby on the same day as Fred VanVleet.
Oh, that's bonkers.
Wow.
Isn't that so crazy? And the only reason I know this is because, and you can find it on YouTube, on the after Game 6, during the press conference, one reporter from ESPN tried to ask him about it. And I was like completely blown away.
Cathryn, this is huge.
Yeah.
How has this been missed?
Like breaking news on your podcast.
No, well, you're breaking news forever. How has this been missed? Like, I feel like I've been devouring.
Talking about this. This is blowing my mind completely. Like, how is nobody talking about the fact that Nick Nurse had a baby on the same day? How do you even time that? On the same day as Fred VanVleet.
Okay, I don't want to be.
We all just went on to win the series.
I don't want to be, like any kind of negative. I don't want to do any negative foreshadowing here, but is there any chance that Fred's baby got switched with Nick in the hospital? I just hope not. That's what I mean. Do you think there's any chance?
Different cities.
Okay, different cities. That's a big no.
Nick Nurse was born in Hamilton.
Born in Chicago.
Oh, okay, good. No, just because as far as babies getting switched, it's good if they're in totally different places.
That is so funny.
So do you think Nick's on fire?
That their babies could look alike somehow.
Oh yeah. I mean, you never know. But no. So wait, let's go back to Nurse having his baby that no one knows about for a sec here. Do you think that is a part of all these adjustments and him kind of like starting to kick ass?
You know what? Shockingly enough, I don't think it's part of any of the adjustments. In fact, I think Nick Nurse has barely even noticed he's had a baby.
Yeah.
And this is so, like, you have to watch the clip. Everybody listening, I'm telling you, go to YouTube, find the clip of Nick Nurse's press conference after Game 6, and you will see an ESPN reporter ask him about his baby and ask him about how that has affected him during the playoffs. And he answers the question like a politician. Like, it's like he just keeps talking about basketball. And he almost refers to the baby as a distraction. But then he was like, it's not that it's a bad distraction. He was like, obviously that was a very good moment for me. But when you just focus on the game and blah, 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 like it's very shocking. I don't even, as a fan of his, I don't even know what to make of it.
I mean,
I'm all for being focused on the playoffs, but I'm also like, you can take like 5 seconds and celebrate the fact that you had a kid.
I mean, even in the movie The Lion King, the Lion King doesn't grow up with everyone, whatever, but they have the moment where they hold him out.
Yeah.
Simba.
I absolutely love that this led to a Lion King reference.
Thank you. So wait.
That was beautiful.
Okay, before I'm trying to make sure my Cathryn Naiker time is valuable here. What else do Raptors fans maybe not know? That was a big one.
Thank you. I don't know. A lot's been reported. A lot's been said. I know other people have talked a bit about the American media. I think the American media is extremely ignorant about what Toronto has to offer a free agent, especially Kawhi, but any free agent. Right. I think, I don't know. I don't know if I even want to go down this road, to be honest. It's just, whenever you hear an American pundit talk about playing basketball in Canada, the only thing they say is that it's cold. And I think that's so completely ridiculous. Like, nobody complains about how cold it is in New York or Boston.
Or Minnesota.
Yeah. But, like all these places that they're talking about free agents going, it's like, it's cold in all these other places too. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like
it's very annoying, very frustrating, and I can't wait for him to sign here and just prove everyone wrong.
And are you pretty confident about that at this point? Is it the murals? Is it the baby he had here? Is it Uncle Dennis finally stepping up?
Yeah.
Well, you know what has you buzzing in that direction?
It's about the fact that this is the best basketball situation, and
it is.
Nobody sees it that way, but I really believe it is. I don't think the Clippers are a better basketball situation for Kawhi than we are right now.
I totally agree.
Think, obviously New York and LA have like very unstable front offices. There's no major free agent market that is in a better position than we are. And no one sees it that way. And I just feel like this is like the huge elephant in the room that like nobody is talking about, because I think all these Americans, like American media people, have spent so many years hating Toronto that they don't want to have to swallow their words and admit that maybe they were wrong about us.
Oh yeah, the Schadenfreude just being felt like all over the land, because yes, we're insecure Canadians. Yes, maybe we care more about a game on Christmas Day than we should. But also, yes, American exceptionalism does exist. And whether it's a Rob Ford sketch on SNL or it's someone talking about Toronto from the US, it's like they don't know anything. Yeah. It's the ignorance is hilarious at times. And that's me making a big generalization, as someone who has a lot of American family.
I agree with you.
But yeah, I think the punditry is so kind of annoying. And I mean, even this new Uncle Dennis stuff. And I saw someone post the other day about how, you heard someone say they're still trying to read all the little clues about how, Kawhi is going to leave Toronto eventually, and it's a surety. Mm-hmm. And they're missing what's right in front of them, which is some type of 04 Pistons, Michael Jordan history level basketball happening in Toronto.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I mean, I guess that's just maybe that's just the atmosphere of basketball coverage these days, where you have people who genuinely care about free agency hypotheticals more than witnessing something awesome on the basketball court.
Yeah.
I love how calm and cool and even keeled Kawhi Leonard is, but yet is it Uncle Dennis?
Yeah.
Uncle Dennis is just in a barber shop talking shit.
Uncle Dennis lets it fly.
Shit up. It's so funny to me. Kawhi must just be rolling his eyes come on, man.
Yeah.
Just give it a month, man. Just give it a month.
Just give it a month. That's
oh man,
that's Cathryn's
timer.
last words. Sorry, go ahead.
Thing that I would love to say, and I don't know if anybody's talked about Danny Green or not, but I feel like I really want a minute to talk about Danny Green.
Do it,
please.
Yeah, no one has really.
Okay.
Well, Matt said something not cool earlier, but sorry, go on.
I really feel for him. I really want him to do well. I feel like he just really needs to have a baby at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know what else is gonna help Danny Green. I know he has a girlfriend, but if they need a surrogate, I'm here. Anything for that man to hit a three at this point. Oh my god.
No, I appreciate that, and honestly, I'm putting
it out there. Let the world know if that man needs a surrogate.
Okay. Okay. You know what? I didn't know that's where your take was going, but for Danny has a lovely relationship, maybe.
Yeah.
But he does need a surrogate, and that surrogate is Cathryn, and she's ready. So that's
ready.
A big
and you know what? In the meantime, Danny, feel free to just take a couple dribbles in and hit a two.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I like when Danny gets to the line. He was doing that in Philly when he was struggling. That was nice.
Yeah. Go into the paint. Do what every other player does when they're shot struggling.
Yeah.
Or let me have your baby.
Yeah,
Danny.
And if any of Danny's friends are listening, stop texting him. Stop telling him to get out of his head. He knows what he's got to do.
And Danny, if you're right about to record the green room and you're just like listening to this, get some inspiration. I think Cathryn's being real about the surrogate thing. It's not just a bit. I know her.
I'll even get in touch with like Nick Nurse's wife and we can time it.
Oh, wow. Nick Nurse always comes back in, eh? Like, just when you think Nick Nurse wasn't part of the whole surrogate thing, he is. Cathryn, I love you.
Man.
Love you. Thanks so much. Let's enjoy these finals, right?
Yeah.
Yes, happy finals.
Serge Ibaka, the shot blocker. Double thumbs down. We've been tracking Serge and his all-time blocks. Got a lot for OKC, and he's been getting some for Toronto last year and this year in this amazing deep run we're on. So when we started the playoffs, Serge had 252 playoff blocks, which had him at 10th all time.
Wow.
So he has 265 blocks in the playoffs now, and he still sits at 10th all time. So how many people did he pass? Listen, he hasn't passed anyone, but that's okay. He's really high on the list. He's higher than anyone else.
That's huge. 10th all time.
It's 10th all time. Well, actually, he might have passed Mutombo. But anyways, I'm not so good at this whole thing, okay? I'm learning on the fly. Anyways, he's 10th all time, and he's coming for Kevin McHale.
Andre DePape.
All right. Well, we're here with a friend of the pod, Andre DePape. He's awesome, and I'm sure he's jacked right now. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing great. I'm out Monday night playing bocce ball.
Whoa! Yeah! That's awesome. Well,
taking the call now.
It's yeah, man. It's
pretty awkward, but
no, that's good. I hope you don't miss a turn. It's 8:40, so I also hope that those bocces glow in the dark, okay? Because it's about to get dark wherever you're playing.
Dude, it's shining as bright as Kyle Lowry's smile after he won.
Oh, okay. This is we're feeling a lot, and you know what? Can I just push you in that direction of Kyle Lowry, because I feel like
we haven't talked about it yet.
He hasn't been talked about like at all, and you're our sixth caller, so I feel like you're a hardcore fan. How are you feeling about Kyle?
Oh man, I was listening to William Liu's podcast. Shout out the fan god William Liu.
Oh yeah,
and he was talking about how just the narrative of Kyle not being a playoff performer is dead. It is so dead. The dude progressively just gave every single thing we'd ever asked him to give.
Can I just actually use this moment to say I was not a major pusher of the Kyle is bad in the playoffs, but I think that he had underperformed, was not properly utilized. His size worked against him in certain situations. Obviously, he had big games against Cleveland and Miami and even Indiana to a certain extent. But I think, yes, it is dead, and he killed it. I guess I think it was a bit real is what I'm saying, but not totally real, but a bit real. But I think he slayed that dragon. Sorry.
I mean, he ethered Eric Bledsoe. Just destroyed him. He was a non-factor. They were scrambling. They didn't know what to Kyle played the ultimate chess match in this series. He was the one that, obviously Kawhi was the I'm going to use a chess analogy. He's obviously the queen.
Right.
He's going around smashing everybody. Kyle was really the one playing the game, though. He was setting up all the matchups. He was getting the switches. He was playing crazy defense. It was pretty masterful.
I think you saying he ethered Bledsoe was just so massive because, we could even reframe it like this. Who outplayed who more? Kawhi to Giannis or Lowry to Bledsoe? And I would say Lowry to Bledsoe. And that was my biggest concern heading into the series was Bledsoe and Brogdon and these guys taking Kyle off the dribble. And I think you nailed it. It was a masterful series by Kyle.
Yeah. And I'm only more looking forward to what he's going to be doing against someone like Steph or whoever he gets paired up against. Like, I think of all the guys on this team, outside of maybe Kawhi Leonard, he is by far the most ready for the finals. Like, he is just so locked in right now. There is no bad juju in his head. Like, he is all about winning time, and it's amazing. Kyle Lowry.
The way I see it is like Kawhi is on his own specific, mission that maybe we'll learn about or maybe we won't. But I think that Gasol, Serge, and Kyle, there are like veteran, still good, hungry guys who have never won a championship, and it would alter the course of their careers and their Hall of Fame prospects, and this is they've made it to the summit. Mm-hmm. And I think Danny Green's like an amazing role player who's also won, but it's a different thing. Sorry, go ahead.
On that point, like the thing that blew my mind, I can't remember who mentioned it, but they're like, these are by far the biggest game Marc Gasol has played in, which was kind of insane because I thought we traded for like this grizzled vet that's seen everything. But like, I think he maybe got to the conference final once and got swept or something. Like, these games for even Marc Gasol were a whole new level for him.
100%.
Kind of amazing.
No, he's played, obviously, like Marc Gasol has played in some pretty high leverage situations, playing for Spain alone. But but I think it's different too, because there was one play with Marc where it seemed like he had a layup, and then he passed it up, and then he ran around to three, and right before he got the ball, Reggie Miller was like, Marc Gasol really needs to hit a three. Gets the ball, hits a three, and I'm like, he's like the big Buddha is a good nickname for him, because man, does that guy think the game through. And he's decided his role is to, I think, just piss off Raptors fans and be an enigma, but also do the best things ever when it counts.
Yeah. And what's going to be fun is, like, of all the matchups, Marc Gasol versus the Warriors, like, I don't know. It might not be good for us, but there is a chance it might be amazing for us. Like, he might be such a different type of player that they don't know what to do with him, and they don't have the bodies to match up against him. And they're going to be throwing like Draymond Green on him, and he's just going to be dominating. So I'm really excited to just see what's in store for Marc. And there's a good chance he might just be too big and slow and it just doesn't work, but there's also that chance that he's like the big mismatch.
It's actually awesome you brought that up, because a question I have in my head is, can the Warriors play Marc Gasol off the court? And my answer is no, because I think he can shoot the three. I think he's so smart. I think that what Draymond does for the most part is outsmarting people. And if that's your tactic against Marc, that's not going to work. Yeah. But there's still. Anyways, what do you think? Can he be played off the court?
Well, I think if they had Durant, I think things would be a little different, because they'd be playing with a little bit more length, and Durant's just a mismatch problem for everybody.
Right.
But I kind of see that tactic of, like, at least on defense, you have Gasol perimeter or working around the rim, just like guarding the net, and then you have everybody else playing the perimeter switch game. Could be very, very effective. So I don't know. I'm excited. I honestly can't prescribe it. To be honest, I honestly don't even really have a feel for this Warriors team. Like, they've changed so much since we've last played them, and in some ways they're the old Warriors in the sense that they have this, whatever, the Hampton 5 lineup they call, which is like insane. But then in other ways, the league has changed. Their bench sucks. The Raptors are way different. Draymond's not Draymond anymore. Iguodala's older. Like, I see all of these, these potential vulnerabilities, which is kind of awesome.
So, as far as vulnerabilities go, you touched on Marc. Is there anything else that kind of has you a bit scared, or maybe that's not the the right word. I think we're all happy to be here and we're all excited.
I mean,
but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm scared just because they're like one of the craziest teams of all time. But like beyond that, it's not like I'm like terrified of Steph Curry. You know, like obviously he could destroy us, no doubt. Like he's insane. But we have Kawhi Leonard, so it's like, you know, it's a different type of battle. But yeah. Also, wait. Before I know my like time is running out, so I just want to get this hot take across because
please.
I thought of it earlier today, and it's really giving me a lot of chuckles. Have you guys noticed we've just been destroying Greg Popovich's coaching like offshoots? Like Brett Brown.
Oh my God, I didn't notice that till now. Yes.
Budenholzer, Popovich disciple. We're about to go up against Steve Kerr. Like,
wait. And
Kawhi Leonard's
who's
on
Orlando?
on the Greg Popovich destruction route.
Wait a second. Wasn't Orlando Clifford?
Was he also on Pop?
I'm wondering. Clifford's from a tree. I just don't know if he's from the Pop tree. He might be. But that's awesome.
But like Budenholzer and Brett Brown were like his two guys. Those were like his guys. And Kawhi just destroyed both of them. And
I love that so much.
Right?
And
so
you know what?
Single-handedly, my Stephen A. Smith hot take is Kawhi Leonard is single-handedly destroying Greg Popovich's coaching legacy.
That's his secret mission.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yes. And Steve Kerr had dinner with Pop, which means he's the last Horcrux.
That's right.
That's right.
Bomb's coming for you, Pop.
Pop's probably like, look, Steve, I tried to give advice to the other guys. It's not working.
Well, Andre, please go back to the bocce ball and whatever beautiful Toronto park you're in.
Thank you, guys.
And Kawhi's probably going to show up and he's going to whisper into your ear, "Don't tell them about the tree." Then he's going to walk away. Dude, thank you so much. We'll talk soon and enjoy the finals. Kawhi Leonard, playoff points. Kawhi's on a mission. We know he is. And this one's going to be extra special because Kawhi's making history and we need to cover that, period. Mm-hmm. So, Kawhi the God in the playoffs, all-time points. So Kawhi started the playoffs with 1,432 points at 137th all-time. He now has 1,993 points. Wow. Since the last time we recorded, which, yes, was Game 6 of Philly, but still, just take that all in. Since we recorded last, here's who Kawhi has passed. Kawhi has passed Mark Aguirre, Dwight Howard, Jason Terry, Joe Dumars, Carmelo Anthony, Artis Gilmore, Bobby Jones, Jamal Wilkes, Terry Porter, ISO Joe Johnson, Sam Perkins, Hal Greer, Dolph Skays, Cliff Hagan, Mel Daniels, Danny Ainge, Horace Grant, Maurice Cheeks, Oscar Robertson, Chet Walker, Walt Frazier, Gus Williams, Big Shot Bob, Robert Horry, and Bob Dandridge. Kawhi now sits 67th all-time in playoff points, and he's coming for Bob Cousy.
Jonathan. Yeah.
Okay, I'm here with Honestly, I want to say another super bud. We're hardcore basketball fans. Jonathan is the reason that I keep long-term track of any one Raptor stats because he always does that, and he's been doing his own Kawhi thing throughout the year. From online buddies to in real life buddies, and united through just like hardcore Raptor fandom. Jonathan, how you feeling right now? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling like scared? What's going on?
I don't feel scared. I feel pretty good. But definitely, this is uncharted territory for us, right? So
yeah,
somewhat not sure how to feel.
Is there any like when the Raptors won, were you like elated or were you kind of like immediately processing like the finals? Because I was kind of in the middle.
No, I think I was just sort of enjoying the moment. I wasn't even thinking about what the finals was going to be like. It was just more like, I can't believe this is actually happening.
I know.
I mean, as you know, a lot of our friends tend to be very nervous throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that until maybe we were about 2 minutes left, and then my heart started kind of pounding out of my chest.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I was worried if, I wasn't thinking they were going to lose, but it was more like, I think they're going to win, but I can't believe how close we are to this now.
Yes, so I lost it with the Kawhi dunk. I lost it with the Norm 3. I lost it with the Gasol 3. I think the moment I really had a release, like, because I feel like for the most part, I just enjoyed the game and I felt confident the whole time. The point where I was the most nervous or like kind of queasy feelings is when I think it was shortly after the Kawhi dunk, they made that 7 or 6 point run and they were within 1 point. Because then I was like, wait a second, we're celebrating like we won. And there's like 4 minutes of the game left and it's a 1 point game. But yeah, the Siakam steal for me, I was on my feet from that point on, just being like, I'm ready for the celebration, even though I'm in Collingwood. Sorry, I kind of jumped on my own question there, but yeah, well,
no,
like
this is good.
yeah.
This is a big event. Like, we should be sharing in our experiences about it.
Yeah, man. How about this? Because I know you think about basketball like we think about basketball in a really similar fashion. So with this new series coming, without getting too much into like what the Warriors are and what they represent and how historic that is or whatever, who do you think is going to play a bigger role for the Raptors than they did in the Milwaukee series? Like I touched on this a little bit earlier in the pod, but we were rolling out 8, Kerr's rolling out 11. So something's got to change there, right? Like, do you think it's more guys or more of one guy?
I don't think we can really use more guys unless, other than maybe OG.
Right.
Depending on whenever he comes back. And even then, I don't really know, I don't think anybody knows what he's going to be able to give when he comes back. But I guess, thinking back to the last couple of series, I think, a few guys have underperformed a bit just compared to what we saw of them in the regular season. So, I mean, I suppose there's a chance that, we might see a bit more out of Siakam. We, hopefully see more out of Green because apparently the finals is where he shines.
Yeah.
I saw somewhere that he, in his career in the finals, he's shot 52% from threes, and he's way below that right now for the playoffs. So,
yeah, I think
he's
30.
I mean,
overall. He's 17 with Milwaukee.
Yeah. And so he's 18th in playoff made threes. He was one of the guys I've been tracking, but he hasn't really passed anyone. Yeah, but maybe he's just afraid to pass Jason Terry because he's been like 3 or 4 threes back of Jason Terry for like, I want to say almost the whole Buck series.
Yeah,
it's wild. So are you not expecting like a big like McCaw, Alfonso McKinney showdown?
Well, hey, maybe this is, Patrick McCaw, Chris Boucher revenge series. Who knows?
It could be. I mean, like McCaw knows their plays. Alfonso knows our plays. Greg Monroe is not in the finals, so he can't really tell anyone any plays. But how are you feeling about I guess it's the headline matchups right now because of Durant. It's got to be like Curry versus Clay, right? Offense versus defense.
Yeah, I think so. I remember reading somewhere that put Kawhi on Curry, even though there's kind of a size mismatch there.
Right.
If he's able to neutralize Curry, there's a belief that there isn't going to be somebody else on the Warriors that's just going to step up consistently every game, because that's what Durant would have done. But even they have a lot of talent, obviously, but Draymond Green's not going to put up 40 points. Klay Thompson might do it once or twice, but are they going to be able to, if Curry is neutralized, and I mean, not that that's easy to do, but if Kawhi's able to neutralize him in the way that he did with Giannis, or Simmons, like, is that going to be enough to, that might put them over the top, in the sense that the Warriors don't have like a consistent go-to other than Curry.
Yeah, well, one thing I've been kind of thinking about is the three-point shooting. So obviously Golden State is this massive three-point shooting team. But the Bucks, it was kind of like, it's coming from everywhere. For the Warriors, it's like, it's coming from Klay, Curry, Durant. You basically want to let Draymond and Boogie, if he comes back, shoot the three. Looney can't shoot the three. Iguodala's not very good. Livingston doesn't shoot the three. I don't know what McKinney is, but if McKinney can beat you, I think you probably deserve to lose. But so I'm kind of wondering, it's like, is it that simple where we can just be like really target? Obviously, they have the whole joy of movement, amazingness that is the Warriors. But if we can, I guess I'm asking a question that, like, I'm sure a lot of teams have thought this before, but it seems like we have the defensive personnel to maybe shut some guys down, right? Or am I too cocky?
Well, they showed that they can shut down Joel Embiid. They showed they could shut down. Why is his name escaping me right now? To some degree, they shut down Giannis.
Yeah.
After the first couple of games, they kind of figured out what to do. They had the wall going. Obviously, that's not going to work for Curry or Klay. But I feel confident that they are going to be able to game plan something. They'll probably throw something at them, at least, to try and neutralize them.
One thing I was thinking about is this might be the first series that size doesn't hurt us. Now, I'm kind of torn between if going small is actually good for us. Like, do we want low minutes for Serge and Gasol? Like, is that the best version of our team? And if we're making a guy like Fred or Norm cover Klay, is that bad for us? So I'm kind of torn with like how this is gonna look stylistically, but just to your point and defensively, it was only one game or maybe it was two, but Fred did a really, really good job on Steph. Ball denial.
Because of the way he's been playing lately, like just the last couple of games, I feel like he's starting to ramp up now. And,
yes.
His shooting has been better. His defense has been better. He doesn't look overmatched on defense, especially now that we're not in that Philly series. But yeah, like you don't see these like weird height mismatches that we saw against Philadelphia. This would be a bigger problem if Durant was playing.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm pretty confident he will play at some point. I'm having a tough time reading what's going on there exactly, because it seems like the injury is real and serious.
Yeah.
And I think Durant obviously cares about his legacy and wants to play, but also I thought he was going to come back. Maybe they were just so confident with Portland.
Yeah.
But I think he wants to play, right?
Yeah, I think it sounds more hopeful than he's actually going to come back. And I think the reality is they don't know when he'll be back or how. Maybe they know how serious the injury is, but maybe they don't know when he's going to be, fit enough to come back.
Is there any chance he's just afraid of the claw?
Next on 60 Minutes.
Yeah, next on 60 as soon as I said that, Matt just stared me down. Jonathan, I've been wanting to have you on the pod forever, and I'm so glad you're on this special one. Do you have any final Raptors thoughts before we all kind of break off and enjoy the finals?
Well, for me personally, I started following the team right from the beginning, so there was really never a point in time where I thought that making the finals was even a possibility.
Yeah.
I kind of was just like happy that we've got an NBA team that I can follow. But so it's amazing to get to this point. This has probably exceeded my expectations for where we were going to be at this year. So for me, this is all gravy. Anything that happens at this point.
So wait, but I think I want to ask you one thing before we let you go, because I know you have kids, but I don't know their ages, and I'm just wondering, like, as someone who, watched the Raptors like from the Sky Dome, do you think your kids are gonna get the fact that like what it was like to root for a team that was like, vacillated between being like an embarrassment or like a joke or sometimes
a gimmick?
Okay. Yeah, like are your kids just going to be like, we're the best, Toronto's the best, we win all the time?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I mean, I have a 2-year-old. She's not really that aware. She knows what basketball is, but that's about it. My 7-year-old, he's seen all of the "How Hungry Are You" videos. That's sort of his extent of his basketball knowledge.
Nice. That's awesome.
But the other day, I actually showed him a picture of the Sky Dome when they were setting up for a basketball game. I was just showing him, like, this is what it looked like when we first started playing basketball here. And the first game I went to, I was up in the 500 seats at the Sky Dome.
Yeah,
you can barely see anything up there.
Oh, I know. It was insane.
So I don't think he understands how far the team has come. But I guess I will say I have taken him to see the Globetrotters, so he knows that the Washington Generals are an embarrassment. So maybe he understands.
Yeah, he knows the Washington Generals are getting punked like on the regular. Sweet. Well, thanks so much for doing this episode, and I'm sure I'll see you online and in real life too.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
No problem, man.
Yeah.
I'll see you on the internet.
All right, see you, pal.
All right, bye.
Bye. And thanks for listening to the episode.
What an episode, right?
Yeah. Can't believe it. I can't believe we're still talking about Raps in the playoffs.
Don't stop. No, I won't even start. But and if you have been supporting this pod from the beginning, just like the folks who went to the Sky Dome, I don't believe you because I've seen the numbers. No, just kidding. But we really do appreciate all the support. Oh, sorry. I thought for a second Matt put the time bomb on me.
Whoa.
Doing an outro to this. And I was going to be like, dude, we talked about this. You're not supposed to do that. But Matt, where can people find us?
You can go to dunkspodcast.com. We've got all our links there. But if you'd like to jump over that hoop and go right to iTunes and Stitcher and Player FM and Spotify, we've got all these different ways that you can listen to the pod. You can listen to it on our website too. If you're old school like that, you're in the library and you got your headphones plugged in.
Yeah.
You paid a couple of hours and you're just ready to go on the library computer. Cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers to the library comp, you freak. But we really do appreciate the support. Email us, tweet at us, get at us on Instagram, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good.
We'll see you next week, probably after Game 3.
As a wise musician once said, all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold.
Let me just say, that musician is not wise. And they've opened up a big can of Toronto ones. Because Toronto men's is fired up. And we're coming at you still.
See you after Game 2, everybody. We'll be back.
Woo!
Can anyone around here speak basketball?
It's the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast.